Hello again, Canada. This is Stephen King, leader of the Freedom Party of Canada, www.freedompartyofcanada.com. Here to present to you another video. This one is about reducing poverty in Canada. And we've got a lot of poverty in Canada, much more during the last 9 years of the Trudeau regime, where it has skyrocketed across the country. Much of that poverty includes a vast increase in homelessness, which the Freedom Party of Canada, if we get in power, we've promised to eliminate that homelessness within 1 year. All those people that you see on the street, sleeping on the street, living and asking for money, our goal is to get rid of that within 1 year, and for each one of those people, we'll be giving them a job, a roof over their head, food to eat, an income, and their dignity back. But what are some ways that we are going to reduce poverty in Canada? Well, job creation, as Jean Chrétien used to say, jobs, jobs, jobs. That's one of the things we're going to do. Number one, we are going to expand our military. A military that both the Liberal and Conservative governments have let waste over the years to the pathetic condition that they're in now. Imagine this, the second largest country in the world via landmass, 40 million people, and we've got a military of 80,000 people to protect our country with 40-year-old planes that are obsolete, 30-year-old ships that are obsolete, and 15-year or older tanks that are becoming obsolete. We literally are putting our forces in danger because they would not be able to compete with modern equipment from modern equipped armies, air forces, and navies. So, we're going to upgrade the equipment for the Canadian Forces. We're going to get new planes, new ships, and new tanks. We are going to upgrade the size of the Canadian military to 2.5% of the Canadian population. That doesn't sound like much, but you take 2.5% of 40 million, that's going to bring us up to a Canadian Forces of 1 million people. Or in terms of job creation, that is creating 920,000 jobs. We're going to expand military bases, much of them throughout the north. And by doing so, we are going to employ much of our indigenous population that have been living in poverty. So many people in the north, many of them indigenous, who are out of work, living on welfare, and not living in conditions that are proper. By expanding the military, we're going to give these people jobs, a decent income, and a living. So that's one way. We're going to expand our highway system. I've got a goal of a highway system of Trans-Canada Highway being 4 lanes in each direction. We've got a highway system that is made for the 1950s. Isn't it time we upgrade it? Lots of jobs there. Gas and oil pipelines. We are the first ones to come up with the idea of having transcontinental pipelines, not only going from east to west, but going from south to north. My vision for Canada is a Canada that's not prosperous in the south and poor in the north. It's a Canada that's prosperous across the country, and where the cost of living in the north is not 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 times greater than it is in the south. That it is equal cost of living throughout the country, which means we can expand the north as well. So, those are a couple ideas. We are going to create a Canadian banking system that is not beholden to world banks. We are not going to get rid of paper money. Okay? We're not going fully digital. Central bank digital currency will not happen under my watch. We will keep our money, and it will be a symbol of our nation. Central bank digital currency allows rich globalist elites to make you poor and paupers with one touch of the button. All of your life savings eliminated with one touch of the button, and all of a sudden, your bank accounts are gone. Not going to happen. Not going to be allowed. We're going to have a Canadian department store, similar to a Walmart, that's going to give you goods at decent prices. We're going to have a Canadian fuel company that is going to make gasoline affordable. And if those other companies don't want to give you a decent price, you'll buy from the government company that gives you the better price. All of these things, when you think about it, and also, by the way, a Canadian bank which is going to give you affordable loans and loans that other banks won't give you. Got bad credit? Maybe you made mistakes in the past. We're all human, right? Got bad credit and they won't give you a loan for a mortgage. They won't give you a loan for a car loan. The Canadian bank is going to give you those loans. Now you might say, well, that's a lot of risk to take, Steve. That's a lot. How are you going to take that risk? What if people default? Well, we're not going to let them default because we've got a better idea. Let's just take an example. Say you're making $4,000 a month with your job. And let's say that you're going to buy a house that has a mortgage of $1,500. You wish, right? That's pretty good under today's circumstances. With today's gross housing costs. But let's just say that's the price. Let's say in the past, or let's say you might be somebody that has a penchant for going out to party, to drink, to use drugs, to gamble. And let's say you're someone whose money has kind of disappeared quickly in the past. Well, imagine that same person, and all of a sudden, they got that $4,000, and they just went and took that nice trip to Jamaica. Not realizing they didn't leave themselves enough money for their mortgage, and they have defaulted on their mortgage, and they're going to lose their home. That's what would happen with the old system. With the other banks, and you know the names of those other banks. With our system, that can't happen. Why? Because your mortgage loan, your car loan, is going to be taken off right at the source. That's called garnishing your wages. So, you make $4,000 a month, right away, before they give you that $4,000 after taxes, your $1,500 mortgage is taken out. So what you see in your bank account is $2,500. That's what you got to work with for your daily expenses, your bills, etc. Okay? And so, unless you lose your job, as long as you're working full time, you will be able to afford that mortgage. You will be able to keep your house. Okay? And have the dignity of being a Canadian homeowner. Even though, in the past, your credit, and even in the present, your credit is terrible. Doesn't matter. We're going to give you that extra chance, that second chance. The second chance that all those other banks won't give you. How do I know that? I know that because I was denied those chances from the big banks. Personally, I know what it's like to be denied that opportunity. And it doesn't feel good. And then you have to pay these exorbitant rent charges from these landlords who are jacking up their prices because supply is less than demand due to the immigration policies of the Trudeau government. So, we're going to make it so you can have a mortgage. Every Canadian that's full-time working should be able to have a mortgage and own a house. The Canadian dream? Well, you might call it that. Some might call it that. But I'm saying that we're going to make life affordable for all Canadians. And that's what it's all about. We're not only going to reduce poverty, the goal is to eliminate poverty, eliminate homelessness in 1 year, eliminate poverty altogether. And you know the great thing about this is, when we get everybody working, everybody is paying income tax. And Trudeau jacked up our debt to over $2 trillion. A debt he doubled in 6 months that took over 150 years by those other prime ministers to create. He literally almost bankrupted this country. And by having all those people working, having all that tax money coming in, having all those people no longer working, no longer being in jail, being paid for by the Canadian government, but all those safe, and not the unsafe ones. The unsafe ones stay in jail. But all those ones that are in jail for menial or marginal charges will all become part of the Canadian military and also become taxpayers, helping to pay down the Canadian national debt. And the quicker that gets paid off, the faster and better lifestyle you'll have as a Canadian citizen. We're going to rebuild this country so that everybody is included. Homeless, Indigenous people, all those ones that over the years have been seeing greater poverty, it's going to be gone. Freedom Party of Canada. We're going to change this country. We're not going to make Canada great again. We're going to make Canada great for once, for everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you watch all the rest of them too. This is Stephen King, leader of the Freedom Party of Canada, signing out for now. Thanks and have a great day.